finding joy in small everyday moments is the key to actually recover, because finding joy will actually help you. Let's explore how to embrace happiness and share it with others. But before talking about all of that, who am I? My name is Wesley, and my mission is to help prevent 1,000 men from killing themselves because of porn addiction, literally getting to suicidal thoughts because of this porn addiction. These are my type of videos. If that interests you, make sure you subscribe. You might have this one thing, like I was having, and I'm still having to this day, of creating something big, actually enjoying life to its fullest, and creating something that will make a change, an impact on the world. But if you think about it, to be able to create this, you need to have access to all the energy you need, all the energy focus you can have, and all the concentration you can have. But your porn addiction removes all of that from you. It depletes all of your energy, prevents you from actually focusing and concentrating on task, and is a big distraction keeping you from actually working on your goals. Because all the time that you put on this porn addiction is time you could have put towards your goals, and maybe today you would actually have accomplished all of that. But because you wasted all of this time, you distracted yourself so many times, this prevented you from actually realizing all of this. And I'm there for you to actually remind you that you need to be free from this. Your competition, the ones that also want to create something big, to make a big impact on life, on everybody, they are not addicted to porn. They are free of it, and they have access to all their capacities, all their capabilities, all their health, their mental and physical capabilities. They have access to all of them because they're free from their porn addiction. And I need you free also from this. In fact, if you free yourself, then you are able to make the choice. Is porn a good or a bad thing in my life? Because right now you're thinking with a damaged brain, with an unhealthy brain, because he's poisoned by your porn addiction. So before making the final decision, do I want porn in my life or do I not? You have to first of all taste the freedom. Taste the freedom of your porn addiction. And once you're free, once you have this healthy brain, able to choose wisely, good decisions, and concentrate on things, then you can actually choose, is porn actually good in my life, or do I want to stay free of this porn? So in order for you to actually manage to achieve this, you need help in your journey, because alone clearly it doesn't work. If it were working right now, you would be free. And you're lucky because I offer the help that I wanted to receive when I was trying to quit. I quit alone, but it took me 2 years. And I want to prevent you from actually going through years and years before learning. And you might say, oh, but Wesley, that's just for you. That's not everyone that it takes 2 years. And you're right. It's not 2 years. Sometimes it's even bigger than 2 years. And not even sometimes, in a lot of times, it's bigger than 2 years and people just quitting. So they don't even want to quit anymore. They don't even want to leave their addiction. They're just stuck in addiction. And now they're stuck for 30, 40 years and even more. They're stuck with it for their whole life. I want to prevent you from actually getting to that stage, because later in your life, you will feel so depressed because of it. It kills your brain, it kills your emotions, and makes you feel like life is only worth living if you feel happiness coming from porn. So in order for you to get free, I offer coaching one-to-one with you, because I understood that everyone is unique. Everyone needs their specific needs. So I want to hear your story. I want to hear what you need, and I want to figure out with you what is the strategy that will get you free. I will keep you accountable, but you need to first decide to make the first step. So this is the moment right now. You go down in the description, you click on the first link. This will be the first action towards your recovery, and you will get free, trust me. And that I'll continue directly with the video. Finding joy in little things, actually create yourself, your brain, something, and find yourself some positive energy. And it reinforces also healthy habits. What happened is that you might have known, because I made a video on it, or you watched someone else's video, that having a healthy routine is the key to actually relapse. To actually recover. Having a specific routine and with it sports so that it can relieve your stress makes you able to actually stop your porn addiction for good. But it's hard to stick to your routine. Maybe you tried sticking to your routine and 1 month in you were alright, but now you start to lack days, and now there's days where you don't do your meditation, or there's days where you don't go to sports, and now you start to lack. And I heard this once, so I'll actually repeat it to you. Missing 1 day in your routine is great. Okay, it's alright, it's accident. But missing 2 days is the start of a new routine. Heard this. Listen to this and actually remember it. So missing 1 day is an accident, missing 2 days is the start of a new routine. And this is really true. You kind of figure this out when you are actually on your routine. You do a routine, for example, for my part, I do meditation every day. And when I start lacking 1 meditation, it's okay, alright. But when I lack 2 days in a row in my meditation, I start to go without even thinking about it, a full week without doing my meditation, and now it's not even part of my routine anymore. But now I restarted, so I'm glad, right? I'm chill. But it's just an example. It's the same for you. So remember this quote that I don't remember who made it, but I remember the quote, and it's the important, right? So remember this and actually stick to your routine. Finding joy in small things will actually make you able to stick more to your routine, because you will kind of can't wait until the next time I'll meditate, or can't wait until the next time I'll go do my sports. So you find joy in these moments, in these little things. And also finding joy in little things makes you able to have more motivation, because you're kind of motivated to feel happy again, right? Happy is a great feeling. So when you feel happy, you're kind of motivated to feel happy again. That's probably one of the reasons why you're still stuck in porn addiction. You feel like you got pleasure, like you got happiness coming from porn. And this motivates you to actually continue your addiction, even though what? Even though you know it's bad for you, even though you see all the bad that it impacts on your life, you're still addicted to it and you're still motivated to go through it. But right now, you are not in a way where you can find happiness as I talk about in small moments. So you have to actually force yourself at first to see these in small things, such as maybe small activities, right? A morning walk, or even your favorite song. Like this can go to a point where you wake up in the morning and you're glad, you actually find joy in the fact that you woke up, because you could have died. You make your bed and you find joy because what? Your bed looks good. And then you go on the bathroom, you look yourself in the mirror, and damn, I look so good today. Wow. Things like that, right? Then you go in your kitchen, you make yourself a coffee, and just the smell of the coffee, you're enjoying this. You find joy just in the smell of the coffee. Like, can you see the advantage you have in face of other people? Other people wake up and what they do, they go back to sleeping. You wake up instantly because you're glad you just woke up. Now it's a new day that's starting, and then, tack, you're already out of the bed. When you find small things enjoyable, this makes yourself a positive life and brings you more into the optimistic side. And as I mentioned in previous videos, when you're optimistic, happy, positive thinking brings positive things in life. So you don't need negative things in your life, right? You only want positive. And if you could live a life without any problem, you will probably choose to live a life without any problem. So change this mindset of negative thinking to positive thinking by actually finding joy in little things. This I already mentioned in another video, but I'll need you to actually keep a gratitude journal. So I have one. Actually, it's this. I kind of, well, I won't show all of it. Yeah, I write in it. All right, and this, you have to actually write at least 3 things every day in it. 3 things why you're grateful. And this grateful, you can write 3 things that made you happy. So these things that made you happy, you can be grateful that these things made you happy. And by actually writing this every day, what you're grateful for, things like that, this begins to shift your mind into a way where you see joy in little things. So you actually respect the title of the video, right? Because I swear that's just what happens, right? By actually gratitude journaling every day, you start to think so deeply about the gratitude. Like, I'm at a point where right now I'm grateful that I wear this hoodie because someone made it. I'm grateful that the person that made the hoodie made it so that I can buy it at the store and wear it right now. Like, you see how deep it is, whereas someone that just starts, just say like, I know I'm grateful that I'm able to sleep in my bed. But you kind of start to visualize things and being grateful for everything. I'm actually grateful that my parents made me, that they bought the house, that I'm in a room, that I have like warm outside of, like, around me. You start to be grateful for so much that this brings a lot more positive in your life. And as I said, positive thinking brings positive things. So the more positive there is around you, the more positive things will happen in your life. And that's great, right? I'll finish everything by saying that, you know what? Joy is more enjoyed when you are with someone you love. With anyone, basically. Doing something alone is harder and less enjoyable than doing the same thing with someone by your side. You realize this as you go in school, because when you do a work alone, when you have an exam alone, you're kind of there just doing the exam. But when you have a partner, what happened? You have this chemistry that goes in, and now you're there. Oh, okay, I found this. Oh, then I found this. Tack, tack, tack. And you start working together, and you see how you're way more productive this way. Sometimes you can lack productiveness because what happened? You start to joke around with your friend, right? But everything is way more enjoyable this way. The exam is not even an exam because you're with your friend. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit stressful, but during the exam you're laughing together and doing the things, and it's alright. When you go to the gym, if you go alone, it's boring. You just go, and sometimes you're just there and oh, it was a bad session. I pushed, but I know I could have done better. Whereas if you go with a friend, what happened? You start to challenge each other. Oh, I bet you can't lift 80. Oh, I bet 80. I'm sure I will lift 80. And what happened? You go 80 even though your max was 70. And what happened? You bench it easily. Why? Because you had this friend, this challenge. And now your friend just saw you lift 80. So what happened? He needs to lift 90 because of his ego, his challenge. He needs to be better than you. So what happened? You will try 85. Maybe he's not able to, but he will try his hardest. And you can see how already the workout is way greater. You all push to yourself, and it's only the first exercise. So he pushed 85. Now what happened? Oh, he surpassed you. So now you have this sense of competition. You need to surpass him. So now what happened? You put 80. You put 90. You put 90 and you do a little bit more reps. And now he says, oh wow, 90. I'll try 95. Now you put 95 and tries. This wouldn't happen if you were by your own. By your own, you don't go and challenge yourself. You just push and push. But when it's the end, it's the end. And now when you go out of the gym, major part of the time, what you say to yourself is, oh, I'm not that sore, I could have done better. But when you're with a friend, it's never I could have done better. It's wow, it was a so great situation. It was so great, like, session. The same also applies in your porn recovery. Being alone is hard. You have nobody to keep you accountable. And when you have these urges that comes, you're there by your own, alone, and you have to face all of this. If you were with your support team, or you were with at least someone that knows what he's talking about, right? You can kind of see that this guy will keep you accountable. This person will actually make you able to go through recovery, gives you tips, and make you able to, while there's an urge, you have someone to talk to. This makes a big difference. It's like when you're feeling sad, you love to talk with someone, right? Sometimes you go alone, you go on your bed and you cry, or I don't know, but you much rather just go and start talking with someone, actually telling him, oh, I'm feeling this because of this, and actually talking with someone, just talking with someone, that's a great feeling. So the same also applies in porn recovery. Talking with someone when you have the urge, saying, oh, right now I feel like I need to, but like I know I don't want and I can't. and having this person saying no, it's alright, Nana, and talking with you so you can actually motivate you to continue towards this path. This makes the biggest difference, and you can't actually realize this until the point where you try it. Maybe you go to the gym alone a lot of times, but now you decide this one day I'll bring a friend. And decide to bring a friend with you, and you'll see the session will be completely something else. You decide to take a coach in your porn recovery, and you see your porn addiction recovery will be something else. You decide to actually do the work with someone instead of doing it alone, and you see, you start to laugh, you start to feel the work more enjoyable because you have something to work with. On that, I actually ask you to take care of yourself. First thing down in the description, remember. Mwah.